Happy Monday, everyone. This is Charlene from Lady in Waiting 222's blog, coming to you today for our Monday mini devotional. Our scripture for today will be John chapter 15, verse 8. Let's read it. When your lives, this is the Passion Translation, when your lives bear abundant fruit, you demonstrate that you are my mature disciples who glorify my Father. Let's make this a little personal. When my life bears abundant fruit, I demonstrate that I am Jesus' mature disciple who glorifies the Father. So let's talk about fruit because abiding in fruit is my word for 2021. And I've been kind of sitting in John chapter 15 and just marinating in it. And I just got to thinking, and I just wanted to share a few thoughts today. So, the fruit that's evident in my life and your life shouldn't point to me or you or bring glory to self, right? We know that makes sense, right? It seems simple and elementary. This, however, is human nature. It's our nature to draw attention to ourselves, whether knowingly or unknowingly, to be known, to lift ourselves up, or to lift and celebrate and acknowledge the created versus or rather than the creator, right? Paul talks about that in Romans chapter 1. And as you see the progression of sin happening, right? We live in a culture where we idolize or celebrate the item, the stuff, material things, right? But what about the designer, the creator, the one who made the product, who designed it, who made it possible for us to be able to use it. The product that may make our lives just a little bit easier, right, to do things. For instance, let's think about this. Can you imagine a world prior to cell phones? I may be dating myself, but I do. I remember that time. Even before pagers and beepers, I remember when it was landline phones only, right? But I think about also the scripture in Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, where it talks about the good works, right, that we're called to do in the earth. It isn't to make a name for ourselves, to create a platform for ourselves, to draw attention to ourselves, but it's to make Jesus' name known, to make him famous. There's a scripture, I think it's in the Passion Translation, I can't remember it now, that talks about making his name famous, making his name known, right? That's what it's all about. It says specifically in Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, that the good works that others see should give glory to your Father who is in heaven, not self. Our good deeds, our works, our fruit should always point back to him. Even Jesus, who was the Son of God, who was God in the flesh, did not bring glory to himself. He lifted up the name of the Father, right, while he was here on this earth, even though he was God, right? He didn't make a name for himself, even though he was well known, right, because of all that he did. But he was constantly glorifying the Father, constantly lifting the Father up. He was constantly doing that. How much more so us, right? So it's in him that we live, we move, and have our being. Apart from him, apart from the true vine, right? We are nothing. We can do nothing. We are nothing without him, right? And we are everything in him. So my question to you today, my question to myself, is a question I've had to ask myself when I was reading through the scripture is, am I or have I been stealing glory that rightfully belongs to my Father? Have I been a thief? I can honestly admit that I have in some instance. But I just want to ask you that question. I want you to think about that, meditate on that this week. Think about your life and the fruit that you're bearing, right? The abundant fruit that proves, that shows that you are a mature disciple of Jesus Christ. But make sure that that fruit, because that's the only fruit that matters, is the one that's glorifying the Father, that's pointing back to the Father, that's making his name famous, right? So think about that this week. Are you stealing from the Father what rightfully belongs to him? All glory, honor, and praise is unto him, right? I pray that you all are blessed, encouraged, challenged, convicted, all of that stuff as I was. I have a great week, and I'll talk with you soon. Take care.